Now, nearly 1 in 2 people in the UK will develop some form of cancer in their lifetime, something our next guests are sadly more than aware of after losing their beautiful daughter to breast cancer just last year.
Isla was just 15 when she found a lump in her breast, but because of her age, doctors dismissed the disease. By the time she was diagnosed, it was too late, and she died just over 6 months later at the age of 17.
Well, Isla's parents, Mark and Michelle, join us now. They're campaigning for better recognition of symptoms in young people. And Dr Nighat's going to stay with us too as well. Mark and Michelle, thank you for both being here. It's not even been a year, so it's still very raw, of course. Tell us a little bit about Isla. What was she like?
Isla was a beautiful girl. She loved life. She was bubbly. She was enjoying her last year at school. She was looking forward to what comes next. Driving, getting a car and getting on with the rest of her life. She wanted to be a nursery school teacher, so she would have done all of that. I do believe she would have done whatever she wanted because she loved life. She loved people. She was looking forward to the end of school, going to her prom and things like that. And sadly, she never got to go to her prom.
And Michelle, she was a real daddy's girl as well, right?
Oh, totally daddy's girl. She just had her wrapped round her finger, didn't she?
Yeah, I never said no to her. I couldn't. She just batted her eyelids at me and I would do whatever she wanted.
Yeah, little girls are very good at that. Very good at that. Michelle, she was just 15 when she first of all felt a lump.
Yeah, she was 15. She came down the stairs and she's like, I've got a lump. And you know what girls are like. She let me feel her lump and I actually panicked because it felt really quite large. I played it down a touch and I was like, oh, I'll be fine, I'll phone the doctors. Yeah, the doctors saw her. And then because of her age, she seems fit and healthy and the guidelines were, you're fit and healthy, you don't need any further
They told her she would grow out it.
Grow out it.
They said it was hormonal and she would grow out it. So,
And
we feel that was the start of her cancer journey.
Yeah, of course. I think it was a couple of years later that actually she had some pain as well, didn't she?
Yeah.
And was a biopsy was suggested, but again, her age got in the way of that.
She got downgraded. She did get a biopsy.
She got a biopsy in 2024 and it came back as possible fibromyalgia with activity. And it got downgraded, but they did decide to remove it because it was quite large.
For cosmetic reasons, they were going to remove it, but after that, Michelle and Isla went to Rome for a holiday.
We came back from Rome, she saw the breast consultant, and he said, we will remove the lump, but it was a few weeks later. But after seeing the breast consultant, it was the next week, she took ill, and that was her in hospital.
And she started to feel really poorly,
Yeah,
didn't
she was really poorly.
So apparently her body was, our body was like ill for like a couple of years.
She'd been fighting it.
She didn't know
because she was
that
so
her
young
body
and
was...
healthy. She was her body was fighting the cancer. When we took her to the local hospital, they x-rayed her and they says her heart's full of fluid around the pericardium in her heart, and they'd done a procedure there and they removed 500 millilitres of fluid, and it came straight back the next day. So they blue lighted her for there into the Golden Jubilee Hospital in Clydebank. It was a big hospital. She was in there for 10 weeks. And we stayed in there for 10 weeks with her. And then at the end, we got the cancer diagnosis, and then she was transferred to the Beatson, the cancer hospital. And from there, we thought, right, there's a plan, there's stages, they'll tell us what stage she is. They took us to a side room and they said, your daughter's going to die. She's got 6 months to a year to live. And we couldn't believe it. We were blown away. I mean, and Isla didn't want to know. She just wanted to live her best life. So we had to put a brave face on it all the time and make sure we were always happy. And she was getting chemotherapy. She lost all her hair, and I looked some of the pictures, she's got a wig on. But she got up every morning, put her makeup on, her wig on, and looked her best. And she just tried to live her best life. She didn't want to know anything.
Michelle, I can't imagine what it's like for parents, for the two of you to get that diagnosis for your daughter when you've got so many hopes and dreams for them, but also in such a short space of time.
Just awful. just the most awful thing you can imagine. You know, just, yeah.
And of course, I think one of the things that you both made the point, Mark, of saying was because she didn't want to know, that actually what you set about doing was just creating as many wonderful memories as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And we feel if there had been early intervention in 2022 or whatever, we feel Isla would still have been here. Because by the time she got a diagnosis, it was too late. The cancer was everywhere. It had 2 years to do what it wanted to do in her body. So we feel if there had been early intervention, but because of her age, we feel that a child presenting with the same symptoms as an adult should be treated the same.
Yeah, so you're campaigning for Isla's law, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because you don't want any families, any parents, anyone to go through this.
We want the next Isla. Nothing will help us. We want the next Isla to have a fighting chance that Isla never got. So we don't want another mum and dad to feel like we feel.
Dr Nighat is here. Let's talk to Nighat about, because of course along the way Mark, Michelle and Isla were sort of going to the doctors, they were having biopsies, they were being checked out. She clearly wasn't very well, but her age kept counting against her. What is the scenario, Nighat?
And so many people listening to that will hear that story. It's heartbreaking, and age does become a factor. In fact, what we're trying to do is encourage teenage people to actually check their breasts and their pecs. The biggest amount of change that's happening to the breast tissue or the pec area is through puberty. So keeping an eye on that and understanding what you're looking for is vital. We already have what's known as Jess's rule in England. That means GP practices all over England. You can have 3 strikes, so 3 times that you come in with the same presenting problem, you refer for a second opinion quickly.
Which is what you're battling for.
Yeah,
north
absolutely.
of the border. This is what NHS Lanarkshire have said regarding what happened to Isla and the downgrading of the biopsy. A team have been responding to the family's concerns through correspondence and face-to-face meetings. We've reassured the family that Isla's treatment was in line with the expected clinical pathways. However, we fully recognise how devastating this has been to the family. Our thoughts and sincere sympathies remain with them. We continue to engage with the family and will provide any further support we can.
But the guidelines, Isla's cancer didn't fit the pathways of the guidelines. Yeah. And probably 99% of the times, the child would grow out it. But Isla didn't. That 1%, that's who we want to help. Because it was shocking. It was shocking. And for it all to happen in such a short space of time, we can't go over it. We'll never go over it. It's unbelievably sad, and we're just lost without her, so we are.
I think there's too many doctors and health professionals following guidelines and not taking that different pathway.
They hide behind the guidelines.
Yeah.
They're happy they've done everything within the guidelines.
They're only guides. So.
The frustration they get, and you can understand how they both feel, the frustration is the guidelines have hindered the sort of the pathway for Isla. She didn't fit them.
Yeah, and I, sorry to interrupt that, I was going to say I feel that frustration as well, because when guidelines are set about it, the referral process either gets upgraded or downgraded, and when it's downgraded from you as a GP, that's why I think that what they're campaigning for to get Isla's rule, or what we already have in England, which is Jess's rule, is in order to break that, because cancer in young people is rare, but making sure that we don't actually set up more barriers for young people is paramount, because we're losing lives and we need to make sure that that doesn't keep happening and we continue to save lives.
You're meeting the Scottish Health Minister tomorrow?
Tomorrow. In Holyrood, yeah.
Neil Gray.
Neil Gray.
And this is your first chance to actually sit down with him, right?
And we have sat down with him. He's actually our local MSP as well. So my wife sat down with him as he's a local MSP, but this is the first time we're kind of meeting him as the Health Minister.
And let's hope, Michelle, that tomorrow he can sit down and he will listen to what you've got to say and give you enough time to really explain the importance of what Isla's law will be.
He already knows all about Isla's health case, because obviously...
We think we should be pushing an open door. Yeah. Why wouldn't you treat them the same as an adult? Yes. Give them the same chance. There would have been a longer investigation and things like that into Isla, so we hope we're pushing an open door. We've got nearly 40,000 signatures on our petition.
Yeah.
So,
especially when early detection is key.
Yeah.
Makes all the difference.
Yeah. Isla's school was fantastic through it all. Things like that. She used to go up to school and have a wee day with her assistant head and our guidance teacher would arrange it, so all her friends were there, and she'd done a lot of good things. She loved going up to the school. I mean, her school were fantastic for it. So the care she got was fantastic. The Beatsons were really good. The Beatson cancer, they were really, really good. She had a fantastic oncologist and a fantastic clinical nurse. So she did, yeah. Everybody that met Isla fell in love with her. Okay. They really did. She just had that nature.
She also has a fantastic mum and dad.
Yeah.
She really does, who were keeping her memory alive for all the right reasons. Good luck with the petition. You get as many signatures as you can, and with that meeting with Neil Gray tomorrow, hopefully, as you say, you're pushing an open door. Because as Nighat was saying, if we have a rule down here, Jessie's rule it is down here, Nighat, then you should have something on the board
absolutely.
Because we don't want any more Islas for that reason. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So brave.